Ag Conservationist for Lucas SWCD, Saltwater Conservation District. I'm at the Blue Creek Conservation Area. A lot of people knew it back in the old days as the workhouse. This was the City of Toledo Correction Workhouse. The idea was to take derelicts and give them some training and then try to do some corrections and directions for them. Over my left shoulder you'll see the white barn. That is where the cattle and beef were raised. That's about the only remaining building that's still standing from that time. The correction started and then being built in the 1919 and actually opened up in the 1920s, early 1920s. It continued to the 1990s, early 1990s, when an issue came up, and we thank Jim Rickenberg, who was the district conservationist for Lucas County. His interaction with the city of Toledo and us being out here since that period of time. Now we partner with the Metro Park, who owns the property, and over my right shoulder being Nature's Nursery. We do still have the opportunity, as you see the green field behind me is an active farm field that we do farming practices, environmental farming practices. Eco farming is what I like to talk about, is where we're always trying to keep living roots on the ground, doing conservation practices so that we are keeping 30% of the residue at the surface. And we're going to go on up ahead. I'm going to do a real quick segment of what the Metro Park's doing here. So at that time, the Metro Park was interested, and they've been involved since the late 90s when they purchased the property. Today, they raise forbs, which would be in the greenhouse, and then shrubs as they buy farmland to convert it to natural areas. So you see, actually, there's some people working behind me. They have 2 full-time employees, 3 full-time employees, and then they have a bunch of seasonal that help them raise the forbs and the shrubs. So since my hiring back in '07, I've been an advocate for drainage. In my first stint here in the late '70s, it was the opinion of the county engineer's office that we didn't need drainage. And today we have a new engineer, and he has a new concept, new ideas that we need to get as much ditches under county maintenance as our surrounding counties have done since the 1950s, so that when land is changed from farm to residential, we actually have access. So it's a unique procedure, and I'm glad to be in Lucas County because I'm one of the few in the state who'll have 30 years of experience on this, and then it can help lead this process. Do it correctly for our landowners, as far as costs, do it correctly environmentally for the lake. And Metro Park went in and actually got money ahead of time to do a 2-stage ditch, which is a unique concept. Typically, you just have a ditch without the benching. This one has a benching now, and now since it's been through the petition process, is now under county maintenance, and is our responsibility, because we are the people who see the maintenance for all ditches in Lucas County, that it's preserved, that it's made even better practices for not only the farm fields but the lake. This is a half-acre horse compost facilities. We're blessed in the oak openings area of having at one time over 1,000 head of horses. So we had to construct this to EPA records. So I dug it out. Family actually kind of helped me because I was working by myself to lay down the required material. And since then we've been in process, and it's a learning experience. I'm a 4th generation farmer. I remember my uncles having livestock, but this was a whole new adventure for me. So it's going well, but it takes about 3 years for us to take the raw material, the feedstock's what we call it, and get it to where we think is a finished product compost that can go out to Toledo Grows or other people interested in using this amendment for their gardens or whatever. So we have about 5 or 6 the landowners that come to us, or I'm going to call them livestock owners, horse owners, that bring their manure to us. And there is a dumping charge for that, $5 a cubic yard. It's not outstanding. It doesn't really cost the cost doesn't cover our expenses, but it's just to have something coming in to help for maybe signage, the testing that we have to do when it's a finished product to go out to the public. So again, this has been going on since probably, I didn't even think about this far, but 2010. Between that and 2013 is when it began. We didn't construct it overnight. It took about a year to get it finished, and then since that time we are in action, and you can see it. There's the windrows. The one here, the first one here, is ready to be completed, go to the finish pile, and to my left is where the feedstock is stored until we have room to put it in a windrow. So again, it's a unique process that no other soil and water does in the state of Ohio. You heard me maybe in the beginning, or you heard me talk about the farm. Seneca County has an active farm, and us are the only two in the state of Ohio. So we are unique. I hope we get to know you better, and call us or stop by, and we'll give you a tour or see you in the office. Thank you.